Most casino marketing teams are doing a lot right. You have a budget, a calendar, a promotional cadence, and a mix of channels that keeps the machine moving. The opportunity, especially in competitive markets, isn't starting over. It's getting even more successful by managing your plan and strategy with the same consistency you manage your business. I'm a gardener, and gardening taught me something that applies perfectly here. Healthy growth doesn't come from one big spring cleaning weekend. It comes from steady attention, watering what's working, pulling weeds before they spread, and pruning what's consuming resources without producing results. Annual planning still matters a lot. It's where you align the business, set measurable goals, confirm who you're targeting, and decide where you will and won't invest. It's where you design the garden, what you're planting, where it lives, and what healthy growth should look like by the season's end. The opportunity isn't replacing that work, it's protecting it with consistent strategy maintenance so your tactics don't drift, your calendar doesn't bloat, and your reinvestment doesn't creep while everyone is busy executing. And in a world where customer expectations and communication channels change fast, the edge often goes to the teams who keep their strategy relevant. Not by doing more, but by maintaining what they already do with a smarter rhythm. Welcome to Drive Time Marketing. Hi there, and welcome back to Drive Time Marketing, the show where we help casino marketers turn strategy into action and insights into impact. I'm Julia Carcamo, and in today's episode, we're talking about spring cleaning and how it can be strategy maintenance. Think about how most of us approach our marketing calendars. We do a big reset at budget time, strip out the clutter, rethink the mix, commit to doing things differently, and then spend the next 11 months executing. It was essentially a spring cleaning mentality applied to strategy, intensive once a year and then hands off. That approach made sense when the landscape moved slowly, and it doesn't anymore. Customer behavior shifts constantly. Competitive pressure responds to what you do in real time. A promotion that was performing in Q1 can be quietly undelivering by Q3 for reasons that have nothing to do with your original thinking. If you only look up from the execution once a year, you're managing last year's plan. Strategy maintenance is something different. It's not a reset, it's a rhythm, a repeatable decision process that keeps your offers, segments, and spend aligned to outcomes all year long. Your annual plan is still the design, the goals, the investment strategy, the segmentation intent. Maintenance is how you make sure it performs in real-world conditions, not just on the spreadsheet where you built it. Now, if you think about it, good teams don't fail, they drift. The challenge with drift is that it rarely announces itself. You don't wake up one morning with a broken marketing strategy. You wake up with a calendar that feels a little full, a reinvestment rate that's crept up a few points, and a channel mix that's no longer performing the way you assumed it would, because the way consumers find and act on information shifts faster than most annual plans account for. Every individual decision that got you there seemed reasonable at the time. But drift shows up as calendar bloat, more events and touch points than you can measure or staff well. Offer sprawl, a portfolio of promotions that overlap, cannibalize, or send mixed signals about who you're for. Channel dilution, investing in channels based on assumptions about guest behavior that may no longer hold. And reinvestment creep, which little ads that compound into new higher baseline. Message fatigue, campaigns that no longer say anything distinctive about why guests should choose you. The cost isn't obvious in a single week. It compounds over quarters, and by the time performance feels flat enough to get everyone's attention, the team is already in reactive mode, launching something new to fix something old rather than maintaining what already works. You don't need more promotions. You need fewer things competing for the same customer. After the break, we're going to talk about the keep, fix, toss decision filter. I want to tell you about two summer events I'm really excited about from Casino Marketing Bootcamp. The first is Casino Marketing Bootcamp Midwest, August 4th, 5th, and 6th in Tulsa. If you've been stuck in the day-to-day and wishing you had time to really think through your marketing plan, your priorities, and your calendar, this event is for you. It's designed to help you turn your ideas into action, which is why the theme has always been where your ideas become your blueprint for success. The second is our brand new Casino Marketing Bootcamp for direct marketing. That's going to be August 24th and 25th. Direct marketing is still one of the most powerful tools casino marketers have, and this event is all about helping you make every list, every offer, and every dollar work harder. So whether you need to build a plan or strengthen performance, I'd love to see you at one of these summer casino marketing bootcamp events. You can find the details at casinomarketingbootcamp.com. And yes, we do offer early bird pricing and group discounts for teams of 3 or more. Welcome back. The simplest way to build a maintenance rhythm is to give your team a consistent decision framework. Once a month, run everything through 3 categories. Keep what's delivering profitable performance right now and scales cleanly. Don't tinker with it. Protect it from the organizational pressure to change things for the sake of change. Fix what's directionally right but maybe miscalibrated. The idea is sound, but something about the eligibility, the timing, offer amount, or channel mix is off. This is not a candidate for retirement, it's a candidate for refinement. And then toss what's become clutter. No clear KPI impact, drives the wrong behavior, creates operational strain that doesn't pay for itself. These are the things that made sense once and have been running on inertia ever since. 3 guardrails help you make better calls. If you can't name the KPI it's built to move, it's a toss candidate. If it only works with exceptions and workarounds, it's a fixed candidate. And if it performs and scales, it's a keep. And your job is to protect it from random tinkering. The framework isn't complicated. What it requires is the discipline to actually run it consistently and the leadership clarity to act on what it tells you. Now, if you want to consider what you maintain all year so your annual plan actually performs, there are 5 areas that determine whether your marketing performs or quietly drifts. Each one needs regular attention, and each one responds well to the keep, fix, toss filter. First, let's start with your offer stack. Your offer stack is the full portfolio of promotions and events across your segments. At any given moment, it should be telling a clear story. Who are you rewarding, what you're rewarding them for, and why it's worth their next visit. Drift looks like overlapping offers with unclear purpose, cannibalization between promotions targeting similar guests, and the gradual accumulation of entitlement, guests who learn to wait for the offer rather than visit for the experience. So you'll want to keep offers with clear incremental visitation and controlled reinvestment. If it's working and you can prove it, protect it. You want to fix the same offer but better calibrated. So adjust thresholds, offer amounts, cadence, or eligibility rather than scrapping and starting over. And you want to toss legacy promotions that are tradition but no longer moved a defined KPI. Tradition is not a business case. Now let's move on to segment health. Your segment mix, hosted players, high frequency, high worth guests, mid-tier, lower tier, unrated visitors, is the foundation your profitability is built on. The mix that performs best isn't always the one that's the loudest or easiest to serve. Drift looks like lower worth volume crowding out the experience for higher worth guests. Hosted reactivation getting neglected while the team chases new offers and unrated visitors who never get meaningfully converted. Now you want to keep segments with stable reinvestment and growing profitable visits. You want to fix a segment strategy that's directionally right but underserving or overserving a specific tier, like your mid-worth guests, for example. They often get the most generic treatment of anyone. Now, you'll want to toss one-size-fits-all campaigns that ignore meaningful differences between guests. Now, reinvestment creep is one of the most common and least discussed problems in casino marketing. It happens gradually. A bounce back gets extended, a match offer gets added mid-quarter, a host sweetens a package because it felt right in the moment. Each decision is defensible in isolation, but together they establish a new baseline that's nearly impossible to walk back. So you want to keep reinvestment tied to incremental lift with defined stop-loss rules. You want to fix offers that need trimming or re-tiering to protect margin, change the structure before the behavior becomes expected, and toss anything that trains cherry picking or creates perpetual expectation with no meaningful visit behavior attached. Now let's look at your channel mix. This is how you communicate, and your cadence is how often. Both need regular review because both drift in the direction of more. More touches, more channels, more messages, until the signal gets buried in noise. Drift looks like too many touch points without meaningful differentiation between them. Channel conflicts where your direct mail and your email are effectively competing, and measurement inconsistency that makes it impossible to know what's actually working. So you want to keep channels that produce trips at efficient costs for specific segments. You want to fix cadence or creative misalignment, the wrong message at the wrong time to the wrong segment. And you want to toss "we do it because we always do it" touches that clutter attention without earning it. And finally, I want to look at my favorite: message and brand consistency. This is the one most teams avoid looking at, honestly. Your messaging is the promise behind the promotion, the reason someone chooses you specifically and keeps choosing you. When it drifts, everything starts to look and sound the same. A stream of free play offers with no connective tissue and no discernible reason for guests to feel loyal rather than just opportunism. So you want to keep messages tied to experience, benefits, and a consistent brand promise that guests can actually articulate. You want to fix creative that's currently offer-led but can be reframed around outcomes and experience. And you want to toss campaigns that add noise without reinforcing why you're worth the trip. With all this, the rhythm is what keeps your plan usable. The goal here is a repeatable cadence that fits into the work you're already doing, not a new project on top of everything else. Here's what I usually use. I do a weekly 30-minute review for drift signals. What's trending up or down unexpectedly? You make one call, you keep it steady, fix the calibration, or flag something as a toss candidate for the monthly review. Then on a monthly basis, this will take probably about 60 to 90 minutes. You run the keep, fix, toss across your offer stack, one priority segment and one channel. Aim to walk out of that meeting with 3 decisions: one thing you're protecting, one thing you're calibrating, and one thing you're retiring. 3 decisions a month compounds into meaningfully tighter operation by year end. And for quarterly, go ahead and save half a day. You want to re-anchor to your annual goals and budget guardrails. You want to refresh your assumptions. What has changed in the landscape, in customer behavior, in channel preference? You want to rebalance your investments for the next 90 days based on what you now know rather than what you assumed in October. Now, I have a couple of examples of the keep, fix, toss improving results, and I'll include the link in the show notes to the original blog post. Bottom line is that annual planning builds the year, but maintenance wins it. Your annual plan deserves protecting. It's where the strategic thinking lives, the goals, the segmentation intent, investment priorities, and an honest look at where you're going and why. Done well, it creates alignment that's hard to build any other way. But a plan only performs if someone is paying attention to it between January and December. Strategy maintenance is how you do that, not with the heroic effort, but with a consistent rhythm of small, disciplined decisions. Keep what performs, fix what's close, toss what's clutter. Start simple. Pick one toss candidate this month, retire it, redirect the energy somewhere with clear KPIs. See what happens to the team's capacity and the calendar's clarity when you stop carrying weight that isn't earning its place. Now, as a self-promotion, if your calendar feels full but your performance feels flat, I work with regional casino leadership teams to connect annual planning to a strategy maintenance rhythm so marketing stays nimble, profitable, and measurable all year. Let's talk. Thanks for joining me on this week's edition of Drive Time Marketing.